minutes to simply inform our audience of some of the things that we're talking about here.
Yes, as I pointed out in the beginning, Maulana Karenga established Kwanzaa in California in 1966 in Los Angeles, California. And in Nashville, the Kwanzaa movement really got started around 1984, 1985 with people like Kwame Leo Lillard, myself, and also people like Maria Estes Hall, and just a number of people, Baba Musa, Mustafa Abdul Alim, and many of us came together, you know, to form the Kwanzaa movement. And so we have been having Kwanzaa since 1985 consistently. And one of the beautiful things about Kwanzaa this year, Kwanzaa 2015, is that every single night of Kwanzaa, we had a program. And each program averaged, in terms of attendance, averaged at least 150 people.
Oh, good.
The first one we had out at Nashville School of the Arts, we had about 300 people there as our opening. And so over the 7 nights of Kwanzaa celebration, I would say that we had at least about 1,500 people in attendance. We have a website. It's called Kwanzaa Nashville, for those people who want to learn more about Kwanzaa and where activities are taking place. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a follow-up from Kwanzaa on the 25th of this month at Watkins Park, and at which time we're going to talk about Dr. Martin Luther King. The title is Dr. Martin Luther King's Dream, the Unfinished Business, which would be racism, war, and poverty. And these are things that Dr. King talked about in terms of the triple evil. So the thing that we agreed on inside of Kwanzaa Nashville is that we're going to have a year-round Kwanzaa. We'll come together for the 7 official days of Kwanzaa, which will be December 26th through January 1st. But at the same time, each month, we will have at least one activity to build on one of those principles. Say, for example, the first principle is emoji, which is unity. And that would be technically on December the 26th. But then when we come into the new year, January, we'll say that the whole month of January will be Umoja month, and also February would be Kujichagulia month. And so we'll talk about unity and we talk about self-determination. So we want to build here in Nashville. We want to introduce African Americans and others who might be interested to the value system that undergirds the celebration of Kwanzaa, with the view in mind of trying to bring our people together across their differences of religion. You have a lot of religions in our community, differences of education, differences of income levels, differences of neighborhoods, and just to bring them together so that we can support each other. Because when you look at those values, say Ujamaa, which is unity. We need unity in our community in order to solve some of our problems. Let's take a good example of what happened when we had the run for mayor here in Nashville.
Okay.
You know, our votes were split so many different ways, you know. And here in the 1st district, we had 7 people running for council person of District 1. You know, if we're really going to have some political strength, we should all come together and say we're just going to run one person, and this person is going to be our standard bearer, rather than splitting our votes in 7 or 8 different ways. You know,
like the Republican Party is doing now with all those folks that are trying to run good.
Well, you know, when you get to Republic, you know what they say about the Republicans and the Democrats as far as campaign is concerned. They said that the Democrats fall in love to choose their candidate, and then the Republicans fall in line. So I think what we see on the stage now is just you know, a smoke screen. But as we approach the convention time in July, they're going to fall in line because the Republicans are about business, you know, and that type of thing. So we want to bring our people together. Let's take a principle which is Ujamaa, cooperative economics. And we have businesses in our community, you know, and we want our people to be patriotic
Patronize
and
those.
to patronize our business. We got a Citizen Bank, we have a Keep-A-Lawn Image bookstore, we have, you know, we have frame shops, and we have restaurants, and so we have to patronize. We have these businesses within our community, you know. And back during the days of segregation, when we didn't have much of a choice, we had to go to Meharry Hospital, you know, because we couldn't go to Vanderbilt's Hospital.
Very good.
And then we have morticians, and we have beauty parlors in our community. And that's where the strengths come. You know, we should buy black, invest in black. Not that we're trying to, you know, use that as a way of, you know,
separating
ourselves, being separatists, but it's being intelligent. You know,
it's doing what most ethnic groups do.
All of them do it. You know, they support each other, and so that's why you don't see them out protesting and marching, because as far as their economic power is concerned, they have sense enough to pool their money and unify around establishing their business and their economic activities. So these are some of the things that we're trying to do. Each month we agree that we're going to have activities and support things. We need to support projects like the annual African Street Festival. You know, you get 25, 30,000 people coming out for that weekend of that.
As a matter of fact, you were among those that started the African Street
Well, I would give more credit to Brother Kwame Leo Lillard. Now, I have assisted him at various points, but he has Kwame and his family and a number of his associates were the ones that started that movement around 1984, 85, and then they have persisted. I think this year was the 30th anniversary of the African Street Festival. And they have also been very instrumental in supporting the Kwanzaa movement too. So the organization is called the African American Cultural Alliance. Here again, the emphasis is on culture and trying to be strong, you know, in that regard. So I think that Kwanzaa is a holiday that more of our people need to study and understand. And some of the things I need to say now is that some people think, well, maybe Kwanzaa is a black Christmas. No, Kwanzaa is not in competition with Christmas.
It's after Christmas.
It's after Christmas and has nothing to do with Christmas. In fact, it's not even a religious holiday. It's a cultural holiday. And then I remember one time, you know, because we pour libations, people say, well, are you trying to return to the ancient African fertility gods and back to idolatry and paganism? No, this is not that. I think what people need to understand about the African concept of family and community is that the Africans believe in a concept of the living, the dead, and the unborn. So that when we speak of community, we include the living, the dead, and the unborn. And how do we remember the dead or our ancestors? We remember them by making an animal sacrifice, or remember them by pouring libations. And some people say, oh, you know, that's ancestor worship, and you're worshiping the dead. No, it's not ancestor worship. It is bringing attention to the fact that we want to remember those that came before us. The African idea is that there is a vital link that connects the living, the dead, and the unborn. And each of us would represent just one link in that eternal chain, you know. And so the African concept of culture and community is based on the concept of I am because we are. You know, the survival of the tribe and the survival of the family and the clan is more important than the individual, you know.
Okay, Dr. AAl-Hadid, what we're going to do, we're going to have to take